Well, it's the time for Business, and Sandra Afenu has joined me. So we're still continuing this conversation about whether foreigners are entitled to trade or operate in the retail space here in Ghana. But apparently you've been doing some research as to how all this fits into the integration agenda of ECOWAS.
Yes, so there's this debate also ongoing. Our checks reveals that in Nigeria, it's a free market in the retail market for foreigners. Togo is the same issue, and when you go to Benin, is the same issue. So why is Ghana's laws? Yes, we are entitled to have our own domestic laws, but is it about time we review the laws to have some sort of integration in the accommodate people? That's what people are suggesting. I don't know how Guta will be taking that. I don't know how. Obviously, a lot of locals are kicking against that.
Cool with that. They're happy if that will happen.
But the locals will not agree.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's do business now. Hello, good evening. My name is Sandra and I'm here for business as always. Data commissioners from Africa are expected to adopt top 5 key measures to deal with the menace of data piracy in Africa. These include stiffer punishment for defaulting companies and payments of penalties. These and other issues were part of discussions at the first Africa Region Data Protection and Piracy Conference ongoing in Accra. Ebenezer Sabote was at the opening and files this report.
Inability of countries to impose stiffer punishments to companies that fail to abide by the data protection laws have been cited as a major challenge to Africa's quest of securing data protection. The first of the Africa Data Protection and Privacy Conference, being hosted in Ghana, is expected to come up with a communique on 5 key action plans to fight the menace. The conference also hopes to address issues of digital economy, financial inclusion, and big data artificial intelligence, among others. After addressing the official opening, Executive Director of the Data Protection Commission, Patricia Edusei-Poku, noted that the communique, which will be backed by international conventions, will include financial penalties to defaulting companies.
For Africa, which would then be actioned with support of international community to enable the improvement of data protection across Africa.
Are we going to see any communique from this conference at the end of it?
Definitely. There's a report with action plan to be produced after this conference. Chief Justice touched on this, that there will be financial penalties for those who are blatantly ignoring their responsibility to comply with the requirements of the data protection law. A fast-track court has been set up, and we have the backing, today you heard, of the Ghana judiciary to enforce the law actively and effecting appropriate legal sanctions where applicable.
Speaking on behalf of the Vice President, Minister for Planning, Jan Bafo, also was confident that the initiative put in place by government to digitize the economy will be successful if data protection laws are enforced.
We must contribute to the protection of the global digital economy by bridging the digital divide, positively promoting international best practices in protecting personal data, enacting data protection laws, and establishing supervisory authorities to enforce them.
The 3-day event marks an important milestone in the roadmap towards promoting data protection and privacy laws in Africa.
The Meridian Port Services MPS will officially hand over Phase 1A of the Tema Port expansion project to the transition team on Friday, June 28, 2019. The transition team is expected to also hand over to the operations team for operations to begin. This is what to expect on Friday when you go live. So our headline story now. At the end of 2018, the Ghana National Petroleum Company, GNPC, guaranteed and offered loans to the tune of $325.39 million to state-owned enterprises. This is according to the Public Interest and Accountability Committee, PIAC, report, which also reveals that the Ghana National Gas Company owes GNPC to the tune of $315.53 million. PIAC is therefore recommending the states should allow GNPC resources be channeled into financing its core business, which is to find more oil. Chairman of PIAC, Dr. Stephen Mantiao, says government should provide restrictions to the proportions of GNPC budgets that go into corporate social responsibilities.
Total guarantees and loans provided by GNPC to other state-owned enterprises amounted to $325.39 million by the close of 2018. Here again, there's a worry because GNPC currently is being turned into a microfinance institution. Anytime we need money, borrow, lend. And we don't think it's a good thing. We should allow the GNPC resources to be channeled into financing its core business, which is to look for more oil and to give us greater value for our share of what is being produced. The Ghana National Gas Company was established as a commercial entity, a limited liability company. So they will enter into a business arrangement with GNPC, take the raw gas, add value, sell it, make profit, and pay GNPC for its raw gas. In this particular year, 2018, Ghana Gas realized a revenue of $85.21 million from gas supplies from GNPC, but did not pay $1 to GNPC. When we questioned them, they said they used the money to finance their operations. Yes. Now, I don't know whether they were building a new plant, because the plant has already been constructed. So if you are spending as much as $85.21 million to finance your operations, I think if I were the government, I would send the auditors in immediately. While the committee is satisfied with the quality of spending by the GNPC Foundation, it recommends to Parliament.
Meanwhile, natural resource economist with the Natural Resource Governance Institute, Gideon Ofori-Pesa, agrees with PIAC and calls for the petroleum institutions to stay within their core mandate, which is to operate and find more oil for the country. He spoke earlier to Emmanuel Abwajibiafe on Business Live.
The focus and then the priority should be on its core mandate. But as part of your core mandate, you realize that the focus of a business is not only to reap profit, but should also be concerned about the environment in which it works and then the society within which the environment, the organization operates. These are key tenets of the concept of sustainability. So the first thing is that focus on your core mandate, but you must also focus and then be mindful about the society and the environment in which you are in. And then as a matter of fact, a portion of your profit is expected to be plowed back into the society. But as to how much that is done, and then if that is going to derail you for fulfilling your core mandate, then there should be a cap on how much you should you'll be spending in your CSR project.
So we've been asking on Facebook if Ghana is misusing its petroleum revenue. Let's go for the results now. And there you go. The percentage that says yes is 69% and 31% actually saying no. And we have about 80 votes. That's all for business for now. After the break, we have Showbiz with Miss G. Do stay tuned.